Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I think we're going to go around the ship and start, talking to our crew members that we've been kind of neglecting. So, yeah, T3 and 4. Let's talk to you, huh? Beep, 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 huh? Yeah, you don't talk much, do you? Okay, well, I mean, just chime in if you ever got any advice. Zelbar. I'd like to know a little bit more about you, Zelbar. Okay, well, I mean, why did you request Baka's sword? Okay, well, I'm sorry we can't stay on Kashyyyk longer. Okay, well, let's get going. Juhani!
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before, in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
I mean, you thought the dark side had consumed you. It's not,
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. I forgive you.
Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
Okay, well.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if, we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
I mean, tell me more about your past.
Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating.
Invigorating?
They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic.
What do you mean, tragic?
Well, yes. These Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods.
If that was the case, they seem to be misrepresenting themselves a bit.
I was merely using poetic license. Those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long.
What happened?
The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations.
Is it that bad?
Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no, but I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that.
I mean, as long as you don't let that anger influence you.
Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again.
Okay.
Yes. What is it?
Is something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
Okay, well, what is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
What's that?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside. Trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine.
What are you saying?
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld.
Oh. Ah. I am sorry. I did not know.
If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood. Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
I am sorry. There wasn't really anything I could have done to have prevented it.
I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
Well, it'll be all right, Johanny.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
You got your planet blown up. It's not really trivial.
Yes. What is it?
Something up?
I was remembering Taris.
What about it?
It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor.
And those rat ghouls. Ugh.
There was always the danger of rat-ghouls coming up from the sewers, or more mundane predators living and working in the area. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford.
Did no one help you?
And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived, and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human.
Oh, like who?
The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point. If there even was one. Sometimes, I curse the day my parents fled to Taris. But then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today.
Your parents?
Another story, for another time. For now, we must continue our own epic. To save the galaxy, if we can.
Okay.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Well, tell me more about your past.
Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that.
Yeah, please do.
In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds.
Your people were in that region?
KOTOR was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran.
Oh, damn. How did it happen?
They swooped down from space across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed.
Why didn't the Republic help you?
We were not members of the Republic. KOTOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it.
But you survived.
My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard.
Well, how did your family cope with that?
My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now. How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What happened after your father died?
After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her.
What happened?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
Did she die?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris.
So you were enslaved?
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
And they freed you.
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
So, what did you do?
I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then.
You became a Jedi.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand. How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was hoping we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Are you doing okay?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
What's wrong?
I have been thinking about myself, about KOTOR, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it.
Well, I mean, perhaps you just need some more time.
More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it.
Well, I mean, if I see you begin to slip back, you know, I'll say something.
I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
I think that's
How
probably
may I be
it.
of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What are you thinking about?
I have been thinking much about our journey, and I am grateful and honored that you have accepted me with you. I am not used to such unbiased acceptance from one who is nearly a stranger to me. We KOTOR do not make friends easily, or for long. Even on Dantooine, I remained alone. Not ostracized exactly, but separate.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, tell me about your people.
In truth, I have lived in the Republic too long, and I know little. I never met any others of my race other than my parents. But we are not diplomats. We do not deal well with groups. This situation is new to me. It is warming. I feel almost welcome. Needed. You seem to be very decisive when it is required of you. It is reassuring to know that I can count on someone like you.
Well, I mean, it's nice to hear that you hold me in such high regard.
To be accepted so readily, I find it difficult to explain. It is so different from what I'm used to. Just thank you for accepting me. How may I be of assistance?
Let's talk.
What is it you... Of course.
Cool. Alright, well, that takes care of Juhani. What do we got in here? Anybody? Nope. Okay. Anybody in here? Apparently not. How about in here? Huh? Hyperdrive? No? Okay. Let's work on that workbench. Upgrade. Oh, wow. Assemble that. Let's take some of this stuff off. Attack +2. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. Okay. Let's see what we got over here. Yeah, I got everything on that. Darth Bannon's fiber armor. Immunity mind affecting. Defense +2. Republic stuff. We got defense +1. So max dexterity bonus 4, defense bonus 6. And that's with that. So this is better. This is actually a lot better. Yeah, so I guess Karth probably needs to trade out for that. Let's upgrade. This is Jahani's. A Luxem crystal. What do we got over here? Attack bonus. Giant attack bonus. Take a look at mine. What do we got over here? Diamond Ophelia. Massive criticals, damage bonus. And it doesn't look like we get to add. Yeah, okay. Cool. So, yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade this to Diamond. There we go. Bastila, you've got Rubat and that. That gives you attack bonus and damage bonus. Is there anything that gives you more than that? Not really. Okay. So let's take a look at Jolie. What can we give you? Well, I think you're going to want that and that. Cool deal. We've got this for you. Let's go ahead and pop that in. That's fully upgraded. Okay. Okay. Sweet. Let's go talk to Mission.
Hey there. What can I do for you?
I want to talk about your brother.
Don't tell me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story
Right.
is bad voodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Circa Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, we'll go to Tatooine next. Let's talk to HK.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
I'd like to know more about your functionality.
Statement. I know some elements of my functionality, Master, but not all.
I thought you said that removing your restraining bolt would restore your memory.
Qualification. I suspected that it might, Master, but without memory, I had no way of knowing whether or not I knew that was true.
So you lied to me.
Qualification. Not so much, Master. I spoke out of ignorance. I assumed the Ithorian was responsible for my memory loss. That does not mean I am not a fully loyal droid willing to serve its master. Right, Master?
Yeah, sure. Tell me what you can then.
Observation. I am sure you are aware of the majority of my skills, Master. I can handle various sorts of heavy weaponry with ease. My physical abilities are well above those of your average meatbag, as are my sensor functions. An assassin, if you would.
An assassin?
Caution, shh, Master. Such a function in a droid is highly illegal.
Okay, well, I won't tell anyone.
Commentary. Good, for I would truly hate to be turned into spare scrap, Master. That would be a waste of my genius engineering. Answer. My assassination functions are currently non-functional, having been deactivated by the meatbag Yukalaka on Tatooine. Were they functional, you as my master would be able to specify a target, and I would operate independently to the best of my ability to terminate it.
Okay. Has that function been used a lot?
Answer. I have no way of knowing that, Master. My memory has been deleted, remember?
Okay, well, I mean, is there a way to repair you?
Answer. Some of my motor functions can be safely repaired, Master, but anything in relation to my memory core is extremely sensitive. I have safeguards installed to protect that core that I cannot deactivate. It is not impossible that other, lesser memory functions could be restored, however.
Okay, so I can restore your memory?
Answer. You may attempt to restore portions of my deleted memory, Master, but some skill at repair is required. The deeper functions of my core memory, however, would still be unadvisable to tamper with. Conjecture. It is possible that some external stimulus might result in the memory core being reactivated, but I am unaware of any program existence to do so.
Okay, so you're saying that your memory might just come back?
Conjecture. There may be hidden programming that awaits certain conditions to reactivate my memory core, Master, but there is no way to know. It is quite possible that tampering has simply erased my core permanently. If that is so, a meatbag will surely pay.
Okay. Alright, well then, how do I go about restoring your memory?
Answer. Simply tell me that you wish to make the attempt, Master, and I will attempt to walk you through it. Please do be careful.
Okay, well, I'd like to try.
Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. I am too valuable and well-crafted to perish at the hands of ineptitude.
Okay, well, let's just get started.
Statement. As you wish, Master. The first stage is the simple one, and that is accessing my central control cluster. This may take a while. First, you will need to open 3 panels. But I need the
Oh,
circuit,
shit.
Master. Please, Master, do not destroy my chips out of frustration. Calm yourself. I implore you. Supplication. Perhaps it would be best if you desisted your efforts for the moment, Master. This seems to be going nowhere.
Okay, well, we'll try this later.
As you desire, Master. I cannot help but claim a small amount of relief. Signing off.
Okay. Let's see if we have something in here that could help with that. Computer use, security, demolitions, no. No. Yeah, nothing. I don't have anything that would help with that. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, well let's talk to Canderous then.
Yeah, what do you want?
I was wondering if you had any interesting stories.
You want to hear tales of my exploits? Of the wars I've seen and fought, the enemies I've seen die by my hand? Sure, I'll humor you.
Okay.
My name's Canderous, of the Mandalorian clan Ordo. I've been fighting across the galaxy for 40 of your years. For my people, it is the honor and glory of battle that rules us. It's through combat that we prove our worth, gain renown, and make our fortunes.
Okay, is that why you work as a mercenary?
Times have changed now. The Mandalore clans have been scattered across the Outer Rim. The Republic is in decline, and the Sith Empire rises to take its place. The clans as they were aren't a threat, but the galaxy still fears us. People think we war out of spite or bloodlust. They don't understand, and fear that. We only wanted the challenge of the battle, and glory from it, win or lose. And we lost. But now I have no real challenges. Crushing Davik's enemies and the pathetic gangs in the lower city of Taris could not be considered the most glorious of tasks. When I think of the battles I've fought, the thousands I've killed, the worlds I've burned, I weep for my past. We will never again speak of this. We've got work to do, so let's get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want?
Well,
Your choice.
guess that's it. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we are set. Okay, so I think that we are going to go and try and hit Tatooine. Oh, what's this?
What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Kareth's vessel. My old mentor.
Well, shit.
Admiral Kareth taught me everything I know about being a soldier. He was a legend in the Republic fleet, and a hero to me until he betrayed us. When the Sith attacked my homeworld, the Leviathan, which is Saul Kareth's flagship, was at the head of the fleet. My family was destroyed that day, and my wife died in the Sith bombardment.
Okay, well, don't do anything you'll regret right now, Karth.
I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I mean, I won't throw our lives away in some mad quest for vengeance, but if I get a chance to kill Saul during our escape, nobody better get in my way.
Talk of an escape is somewhat premature, don't you think? We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
I'll admit, it won't be easy. Saul's no fool, and he won't underestimate us either. You can count on plenty of guards watching every move we make.
Maybe Admiral Kareth doesn't know how many of us there are on board. We all have special talents. Talents we could exploit so that one of us could stage a rescue. We just have to figure out who has the best chance to avoid capture so they can come and rescue us later. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope.
Okay, well, Admiral Kareth is probably going to be watching the three of us pretty closely. One of the others is going to have to do this.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
Mission could do it. She's basically the most useful person in this party anyway. Like, yeah.
Maybe I can goad the guards into making a mistake. If I get them mad enough, they might put me in a separate cell to punish me. With them focusing so much on you three, I might be able to sneak out of my cell and come rescue the rest of you. It's a risk we have to take, Big Z. I can slice my way free of any security cell. Don't worry, I can pull this off.
Alright, this could work, and it's not like we've got a lot of choice, so, yeah.
I won't let you down. You'll see.
Hold on, they're dragging us into the docking bridge.
Bastila, Karth, and the crew have been taken prisoner as you ordered, Commander.
Excellent. Have you searched the ship thoroughly? Admiral Kareth warned me to be on alert for any kind of treachery.
We found a young Twi'lek in the back. She's got quite the mouth on her. She swore at me and spit on my uniform. She tried to bite me through my armor, and you should hear what she said about my mother. Admiral Kareth needs to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
The Admiral doesn't have time to bother with some Twi'lek girl. Take her away to solitary confinement. I'll leave it up to you to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been kind in your case. I barely recognized you.
But I recognize you, Saul. I see your face every night, even as I promised myself I will kill you for what you did to my homeworld.
Did you learn nothing in your time under me? As a soldier, you should understand that casualties were unavoidable. This was an act of war.
It was a cowardly act of betrayal. Your fleet bombed a civilian target into oblivion without warning or provocation, and the blood of those innocent people is on your hands.
In war, even the innocent must die. The Sith would not accept me until I proved I had truly turned my back on the Republic by bombing the planet.
My wife died in that attack, Saul. And for that, I swear I'll kill you.
You used to be a man of action, not of empty words. Cling to your lust for revenge if you must, but spare me your tired threats. I've heard them all before. You're an insignificant part of these events anyway. Lord Malak is far more interested in your Jedi companions. He has great plans for them.
We will never serve Malak or the dark side. The Sith will be destroyed, Admiral Kareth, as will you if you don't turn away from this path.
Your words are brave, Bastila, but the lure of the dark side is hard to resist. Or so I've been told. I wonder if your companion is as devoted to the light as you are.
I mean, look, you are wasting your time. I'm not going to betray the Jedi.
You're defiant. I'm certain Malak will find your loyalty to the Jedi amusing. The Dark Lord would probably reward me if I just killed you once and for all, but he may want to question you given the trouble you've caused him, and the history between you.
What are you talking about? What history?
You mean... Oh, this can't be true, can it? You really don't know what's going on here, do you? Well, I won't be the one to deprive Malak of the pleasure of telling you himself. The Dark Lord will no doubt torture you for information and for his own twisted pleasure. Eventually, you will tell him everything. The Sith can be very persuasive. However, Lord Malak is in another sector. It may be some time before he arrives, so I suppose I will have to fill in for him until then. Activate the torture fields.
Jesus.
Enough. I don't want them to pass out before I question them. Malak will appreciate any information I can give him when he arrives.
Don't waste your breath, Saul. We won't answer any of your questions.
I'm sure you won't. However, we both know your friend's loyalties have proven in the past to be somewhat flexible.
What the hell are you talking about?
I am interrogating you, not the other way around. You will answer questions, not ask them. It is time to put your loyalty to the test. I doubt torturing you will gain me your true cooperation. Your will is too strong to be broken that way. However, even the strongest of heroes has trouble watching those they care about suffering. The interrogation will begin now. Each time you refuse to answer or give me a false answer, Bastila will suffer.
I mean, I'm not going to betray the Order just to save her.
My pain is meaningless. Tell him nothing.
I tire of these games. Now I want answers. On what planet is the Jedi Academy at which you were trained?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very well. This is the price of your resistance. Enough. You see what happens when you try to defy me. This first question was a test. Obviously, Malak knew the Academy was on Dantooine, and it has since been destroyed by our fleet.
What the
Dantooine is
fuck?
an empty graveyard now. Nothing is there but a smoking ruin and the charred remains of your former masters.
Well, screw you. You're gonna pay for that too.
More empty threats. We Sith prefer to let our actions speak for us. Perhaps that is why we are winning this war. Now, tell me your mission. How were the Jedi planning on using you to stop Lord Malak and our Sith Armada?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Perhaps you need a reminder of the consequences of refusing to cooperate.
No. No! Pain!
Listen, can you not hear her suffering? You can spare her further pain by simply answering my questions. Now I will ask again, on what mission did the Jedi Council send you?
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna betray the Republic. Screw you.
Perhaps another lesson is in order.
No! No! I beg you, no! Mercy! No!
I am surprised she did not pass out sooner. Rarely have I seen someone withstand such punishment and remain conscious. I see I am wasting my time here. When Malak arrives, you will learn my interrogation techniques are considered merciful among the Sith. I will leave you here in your cell with a small taste of the horrors you will suffer when Lord Malak arrives.
Don't try to move too quickly.
Ow.
You might not be fully recovered yet. Admiral Kareth had his guards continue to torture you even after you passed out.
They tortured all of us, though you got the worst of it by far. Saul wanted them to make us suffer. He's become some sort of sadistic monster.
The dark side has perverted him, Karth. Once you start down the tainted path, it leads you ever further into the depths of evil. I fear he is forever lost.
Well, no one's without hope of being redeemed.
Yes. I suppose you're correct. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that hope in the face of such unbridled cruelty. But you speak the truth. I suppose I'm taking the news of Dantooine's destruction quite hard. First Tara's, now the Academy. Is there no end to the killing?
I mean, maybe he's lying.
I'd like to believe that Saul was lying to us. But even as he said the words, I knew they were true. The Academy is gone. We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce. I can only hope that some of the Jedi escaped. Rook, Vendar, Zar. I cannot imagine all of them being gone. In any case, we've lost our one place of refuge in the galaxy.
None of this will matter if we don't get out of this prison before Saul gets back.
Okay, well, where's Saul now?
Saul mentioned that Lord Malak was on his way. I think the Admiral left to prepare for his arrival and to report the results of our interrogation.
It is fortunate you were able to resist the Admiral's questioning. The fate of the galaxy could be changed by revealing the slightest piece of vital information. I have to confess something. There was a moment, just a moment, when part of me was hoping you would tell him what he wanted to know, just to make the horrible pain stop.
I mean, Saul would have only tortured us no matter what I told him.
I've known Admiral Kareth a long time, and I think you're right. The interrogation was a sham. Saul was toying with us. He didn't care what we told him. I think it was just an excuse to torture us before Malak arrived.
Did you feel that? A disturbance in the Force. The Admiral has sent his message. The Dark Lord knows we're here now. Malak is coming.
Well, then we better hope Mission busts us out of here before he arrives.
Come on, girlie. Into the cell. Let's go. I haven't got all day to waste on you. I need to get back to my post.
Quit crowding me. Sheesh. I've met Gamorreans who didn't smell as bad as you, Sith.
You think you're pretty funny, don't you? But you're only making things worse for yourself.
How come every time you open your mouth to talk, the scent of rancor dung comes out?
Maybe a little time in solitary confinement will teach you the proper respect for the Sith. Now get into that cell.
Who designed those Sith uniforms anyway? A blind Rhodian with a sick sense of humor?
Oh, that's funny. You should tell that one to the torturer when he comes to deal with you.
What? You're going to torture me?
No snappy comeback this time. The thought of torture scares you, Well, it should. The Sith have ways to inflict pain you can't even imagine. It may be a few hours before your torture begins. We're busy interrogating your friends right now. Hey, I know. You could use this time to think up witty ways to beg for mercy.
Or I could use the key card I lifted from your pocket to slice into the security panel and get myself out of this cell.
Ah!
Piece of cake. I wonder when people will stop underestimating me.
Alright. Well, I think that we're going to go ahead and call it here for today. Yeah, I guess we're going to figure out a way to bust out of this place before Malak comes and kills us all. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, I will catch you in the next episode. Later! If you liked that video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support future content for this channel, you can click on the link to our Patreon below. For just $1 a month, you can help us keep this channel running. Plus, anybody who donates will get access to all kinds of other extra content like our monthly iNoob podcast.